Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a truder welcome to Railgrade, which is basically a game where I get to play with a train set. So, okay, 10 out of 10, bloody love these things, and this one nails the sweet spot, okay? Nice and easy to get your head round, but an absolute nightmare once it gets going. I love it. Okay, here's a nice, small, easy level to introduce the basics. So, on this occasion, I'm supposed to be exporting energy. So, first things first, we're going to need to make it. We got a power plant over here, and don't let that truck fool you, that's just for show. This is a rail world, damn it. There are no roads, there is no anything. If you want anything to move to anywhere else, you need to build your own infrastructure. So, okay, nice starting points. We got a whole bunch of oil wells around here. How about we just build a simple loop? The power plant is going to be the center of everything. So we might want a nice long station. So we'll just build that right over to there. Then we'll just bring you down in this direction, buddy. Lovely. Spending a bit of money on all of this. And then just slap down some stations for loading and unloading. And then, of course, the crucial bit, the train. And this is where things start getting interesting. This game doesn't say, you know what, a particular train can pull a certain amount of weight. It's all dynamic. It just affects the performance up in the top right there. If I just want to keep putting crude oil things on the back of this train forever, I can do that, but yes, basically, I'm going to knacker the speed. Potentially, what I'm going to do is generate a massive traffic jam down the line. And here's where we have to start thinking a bit carefully. You see, this power plant needs 2 crude oil to make 1 energy, but it can only store 8 crude oil, meaning if I bring it more than 8, then the crude oil has got nowhere to go. Maybe 10 at a push, because maybe it could start producing the first 2 while the train was still in the station, I don't know. But basically, you don't want to be sending more than 8 crude oil in 1 train to this oil power plant. Simply, it can't accept it. So as a result of that, give me a train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But no, that train is now way too slow, but that's fine. You can have more than 1 engine per train. So finalize that, that just pops into existence. There's no, like, you know, rail sheds trains need to come from. In some ways, as I say, this is a bit of a simplified experience where trains just pop into existence wherever you tell them to pop into existence. So you, buddy, you should now have 8 oil. And I started you here because these oil wells had 4 oil stacked up. They've only got a certain amount they can store as well, which caps out at 4. So therefore, you bring the oil up here, and yes, bit slower on the old hill. Might want to, yes, give these guys another engine, just so they're not this slow going up the hill. That's maybe a bit of a problem. This power plant also needs workers sent to it. That's all absolutely fine. In this mission, I've got more workers than I could possibly need. That's more of a mechanic in other missions. So here we go. The oil gets unloaded, and because this station has 4 stations, it can unload 4 oil at a time. But as you can see, yes, we've got problems. Problem number 1, we're out of oil at the power plant. The train's not going round fast enough. Problem number 2, it can only store so much energy. We've got to get the energy moving somewhere else. And on this occasion, I'd say yes, a dedicated line just for the sake of moving the energy around. And we're just going to put 1 nice train right here. Yeah, just the cheapest train we've got going. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all absolutely fine. That train comes around over here. It can just automatically turn around by itself once it is done. So just loads up 2 and another 2. Then just flips itself around and now goes and delivers the energy to the Zeppelin dock where it can be sold. Brilliant. So, let's start optimizing, which is, yes, this power plant is just doing nothing the vast majority of the time. It runs out of oil, this train is running with no energy. So as a result of that, yes, we're just sitting on oil that's not going anywhere. We need a second train doing the same loop. And what I can do is I can just, clone the train. That way, I know it's going to be moving at the same speed, same rate, all the rest of it. So, that seems like a good spot for me. You guys just get going. Problem number 2, the catalysts. I can make buildings run twice as fast if I feed them a secondary ingredient. On this occasion, it's water. Slap down a water pump here. At this point, yes, things start getting complicated, because what I could do is I could, yes, just redesign my rail system, super quick and easy to take rails apart and then redirect them in order that, yes, my oil trains also have, say, a couple of water wagons put on the back. That would be legitimate. Alternative 2, I could build a new line round the back, sending water just to the power plants. Option number 3, oil wells. They also need water. So yes, this is the point where the game starts getting complicated. But I've got a plan. So brand new rail here, brand new rail here, and a brand new train to go on it. Now, yes, this being as it is, only 4 water can ever be picked up at a time. So what we do is halve the size of the train. 1 engine, 4 carriages, yeah, max speed is just the same. Brilliant. And next up, yes indeed, now we start getting into the beautiful matter of signalling and directions when it comes to junctions. So naturally, any train you select follows the path that's highlighted, and you just click on the junction to change it. You don't need to worry about signals, they will never collide. So here we go, my water train now, yes, on the off chance it gets stuck behind something else, can just take this shortcut, bearing in mind that, yeah, it's going to be empty a lot more often than the big oil trains are. So it just comes around here. We know its track is going to bring it straight back over to this lovely water station. The water's already filled up. In fact, if anything, we could probably get away with a second water train. Right now, we are just leaving water on the table. Probably the same is so true for oil as well. We can just massively increase the amount of oil and water. The only problem is, eventually I'm going to cause a traffic jam. But screw it, we'll give it a go. Clone this train to here. That's absolutely fine. You get going. And, oh yeah, the water is already almost done. Train comes to this power plant, but at this point, the water is already filled up. So the remaining water just moves on somewhere else. Clone the water train, and yes, another set of water will now be picked up and start circulating too. Meaning more water is going to be available. In fact, you know what? This cloned train is inherited the same path as its predecessor. So I'm going to say, no actually, one of them goes this long way round and hits these oil wells too. Brilliant. And there we go, water is being delivered all around the world. We are just generating huge amounts of energy. And that's pretty much it. This was just, you know, a fairly simple introduction to things. But as you can see, starts off nice and simple, beautiful game, nice and easy to get your head around. But, yeah, let's just say it gets a lot more complicated than this. Okay, let's move on to something a bit more complicated, which is a city. Cities, you don't just feed them one thing and get out another. Cities have multiple optional demands. They'll keep growing as long as they have access to any of the following. Either water, or salt, or wire, or steel. And this is important because cities produce workers and you can't have industry without workers to run them. And in this map, we've got ourselves some very limited options actually. So there is water, we could feed them some water, but there is literally only one place we can pop down a handful of water pumps. That's not going to be making too much in the way of water, that's just not good enough. Meaning we need to start thinking about, yes, multiple demands being fed into cities simultaneously. And salt, that's a good option. Knowledge as a game has given me a giant pile of salt refineries. They need to be fed silica to produce salt, then the salt gets fed into the city. So step 1 of this mission is just make sure the city gets supplied. One silica mine produces a silica every 16 seconds. A salt refinery needs 2 silica to make 1 salt, so if I just make a loop between 2 mines, the refinery and the city, that should work as a starting point. Make sure we run a nice long station in front of the city, because yes, we're going to be loading and unloading a lot here. Then just close up the loop. That is... okay, that's the most efficient loop apparently, but I don't like it. It's ugly, so we're going to be making a slightly less efficient loop just because it's more visually pleasing that way. Put a single train in this loop. Okay, maybe 2 basic boiler engines, then give it 6 silica, to 3 salt. The train is doing double duties. It dumps the silica, it picks up the salt, and there should be twice as much silica rotating as there is salt. The first couple of loops are going to be a bit on the inefficient side because there'll be no salt to pick up, but the basic principle should work. And you know what? I know we're going to be needing more than, just these basics. So just send you over in this direction. Let's just get a handful of trains on the loop already by doing some cloning. Salt production, however, is low. They're burning through salt fast. So what I'm also going to do is just provide as a temporary solution a bit of water. We're just going to dump some water in, nice and easy. Here we go. Double water pump. That produces water pretty bloody fast, actually. And all we're going to do is just send a train straight to the city and deliver that water. That's going to be it. A combination of salt and water will get this city growing, just as a starting point. Though, obviously, things are going to get a lot more complicated, because the city's going to start getting fussy. So, nice simple secondary loop has now been created. So all we need to do now is slap down a water train. This produces 4 and 4. So honestly, just a simple train that is providing the water should be a-okay. So, yeah. 2 boiler engines, 8 carriages of water, just 1 train will do the job. So you come in here, you collect the water. Trains auto turn around if they reach a dead end. Then we just make sure that... No. That way round, please. Match the flow of traffic, if you would be so kind. So yes, water train is now coming in. How long does it take for, yes, the water to fill up again? Because this is a short journey right here. And how are my trains doing with the one at Salt Refinery? Okay, there's just a little bit too much silica actually on the loop right now. We could probably afford to strip out maybe 1 or 2 carriages. But you know what? It's not so bad. It's roughly holding together. What's going to be much more exciting is, yes, water is now arriving in the city. Though the unload speed is a bit on the low side. Let's actually extend this station. So now, yes, we can load or unload 4 in one go. Speaking of which, the water is, okay, pretty much up to full capacity. So as a result of that, yes, the train is maybe leaving water standing there a little bit inefficiently, but it's not so bad, really. That loop will do the job. So we've got salt coming in, and we've also got ourselves, yes, water coming in. Though we're making more money from the salt trade, because the salt factory does pay for delivery of silica. So that's more lucrative, even if it's bad for growth. Okay, now the city's actually growing, we could start thinking about, yes, a catalyst. So, feeding some energy into the city, that's nice and easy. Concrete, that's going to be harder. Because concrete, yes, concrete needs water. And there's precious little water floating around in this map. So, okay, that could be a problem down the line if the city starts getting a bit fussy. For the time being, yeah, give me, say... geothermal. What have we got here? We do actually have... oh, that's nice. That's really nice, actually. We could build a geothermal plant right here on the same... oh. That could be a water and an energy loop if I just slightly adjust it. That's pretty good, actually. So geothermal power is slow, pretty inefficient, and can hold 4 energy. So as a result of that, just slap down 1 basic boiler engine, and then 4 energy carriages, which should travel at the same speed as a longer train with 8 carriages, but 2 engines. So you guys come in over here, you collect the energy. Energy goes on at the same loop too. At some point, yes, we're going to start running into trouble. Should we future-proof that right now? Because we can do that simply by having, yeah, multiple layers of station. Here we go. Brand new platform still in range of the city. So the city now has 2 platforms ready to go. And the city is leveled up. Which is good news in a way, but also kind of bad news. So my city, it needs energy, concrete, or widgets. That's not just a catalyst anymore. So given the concrete needs to be exported, we should be sending energy and salt to the city water goes to make the concrete. Okay, that's a plan. How far we can actually do it in. Okay, John, sort out this mess of a system. Okay, new system including, yes, the new secondary loop. So, loop 1, we are feeding salt into the city. That is one of the demands. Demand 2, energy. So a separate loop, this geothermal plant, that's coming into platform 2. Just to, you know, avoid a traffic jam. The problem is energy. Right now energy is being produced a lot, and I mean a lot slower. So the best thing we could do is probably double the storage capacity. So this train comes round here. By the time it gets here, okay, looks like we can definitely add at least 2 more. Like 6 carriages should be, no, 7 as it turns out. Screw it and give it 8. And doesn't necessarily need, okay, maybe 1 more engine too, otherwise it's going to be very slow. That's lovely right there. That will keep the city growing. That will mean more workers, more money. This is a nice, reliable bit of income. Time to start thinking about concrete, however. Now, there are concrete yards already set up for me on the high ground. But to be honest, they're a long way away from, yeah, the silica and the only source of water on the map. So I feel like actually I might be better off just building my own. In fact, you know what? That gives me a brilliant idea. So the energy train is going to do this loop. But the water train may as well do a loop that includes the geothermal plant. It's not going to be stealing much water because, yeah, it only stores 4 and it burns through it very slowly, once every 90 seconds. So it's barely going to be needing any water, and this one train is not going to be getting in the way much. It's going to be spending most of its time unloading over here, etc, etc. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Right, 2 basic engines, 8 water trucks. They come through here, and yes, that's precisely right. I want you to come this way, turn this way after dumping the water here, dump more water, in fact the rest of the water, over here in the concrete yard, and once again, it's 2 silica to 1 water. Therefore, that suggests we're going to be needing a lot more mines, or upgraded mines. Hang on, an upgrade is 2,000. A silica mine is only 1,000. So, okay, just more silica mines, basically. If I just, hang on. If I just built, like, a beautiful thing right here, like, say, about this sort of direction, right? If I now just built a station right here, a 4-point station. So, okay, hang about. Train comes in, picks up. Train goes back the other way. Train... Why is train not dropping off the... Okay, train does drop off the silica, picks up the silica, and then... That actually works. Alright, that's the important thing. This is now working. But now we need to ship the concrete off somewhere. And the somewhere is the Zeppelin dock, because that's the only place it needs to go. So, okay, just a dedicated line all the way over to the Zeppelin dock. Okay, the concrete yard can now support 8 concrete in storage. So, okay, a train should come along that could deal with that. 2 basic boiler engines and 8 concrete. Speed is reasonable. Acceleration is poor, but that's all absolutely a-okay. So you're now going to take 8 concrete at a time over to the Zeppelin dock. Brilliant. In fact, you know what? Concrete's now being made so fast, we could definitely clone this train. Because this concrete facility is already up to, oh yeah, 5, 6, etc. Finalise the train, get it in, get some more concrete going. And actually, the concrete yard would like, oh, energy. Okay. If we were to send, hang on, what should the energy train route look like? What if I set it to alternating? You can set switches to alternating. If I was to say, every other journey, go this way, then you would presumably dump the energy right here. And then your next journey, you would go here. Oh yeah, that's... It's probably very inefficient, but it's going to do the job, damn it. Now, energy train. What you should be doing is, yes, loading up the energy. Brilliant. But because I've set the switch to alternating, you should now go this way and do one simple loop back on yourself. The water train is going to be right behind you. That's not going to cause a problem. So now, concrete yard gets its energy. Meaning, oh yeah, plus 100% production speed, given it's now got energy. Meaning, as a result of that, oh, the concrete production is going bananas. Money is just flying in. And you know what? There's just, you know, a fun system of banks here. Banks aren't just for borrowing money. You can deposit money in order to make interest on it if you want to. So screw it. I'm going to deposit 5 grand in there and I'm going to get the interest. Because why not? And never mind that final concrete delivery did the job. So, okay. Salt City complete. But like any good game of this genre, it's not just these basic story missions we've been seeing so far. There are also side missions where, yes, as the game warns us, extreme expansion might be needed. So, mission number 1. The Zeppelin dog, we need to get some steel out of here. So, okay. Steel mill, brilliant. So the steel mill needs iron and coal. 2 and 2 to make 2. So, okay, needs to be fed the same amount of stuff. Lovely. So, iron mines, feed them in over here. Coal mines, feed them in over here. Consider feeding these coal mines into coal power plant in order to also send in, oh yeah, the energy to the steel mill. So, nice simple coal loop to start us off. Just, yeah, get us, say, boiler engine times 2 and 8 coal trucks. That'll do as a starting point. They're just going to go up here, collect a whole bunch of coal, start doing the loop. Steel mill needs workers. It doesn't really, because, yeah, right now, you can't produce anything. Simultaneously, oh, I'm swimming in money. Okay, so we should expand hard and fast here. Let's just get another nice loop going in this part of the world. Be flipping beautiful. That's just going to lead us over to here. Okay, so the basics are now occurring. Coal is being delivered, iron is being delivered, but let's be honest, we need a lot more than what we've got. So just begin cloning trains like crazy. We could definitely have, say, 3 trains on each of the, supply side loops. So, we've got the basics in play, but now, okay, it's production rate. We need to increase the rate of steel production. So that's going to require, oh yeah, everything going up in the world. I cannot upgrade this, though. So the only way to speed it up is going to be catalysts. We need that energy. So, okay, the only problem we've got is, coal. So coal you can only stack 4 per mine, meaning, yeah, the actual amount of coal production might be a little bit slower and more difficult than iron production, where I can stack up to 8. Also, I only just noticed I can't actually build anything. I mean, I can build, you know, tracks and whatnot, but I can't build buildings, so, okay. The power plant would like water, but there's no source of water. Like, there's a giant lake, but there's no pump. So, we can't do anything with that, unfortunately, on this occasion. So, don't worry about that. Instead, yeah, just make energy as fast as you can. Get a train just doing a loop, taking the energy to the steel mill, which is great. So, okay, as soon as energy starts being produced, that will work out nicely. Coal is now the problem. So, okay. Coal, let's upgrade every single mine, please. We need more coal. Lovely. Steel mill now is in possession of energy, but without coal, it doesn't actually matter. And you know what? This is way more coal than we actually need in the power plant, because energy is okay. I think I see what we need to do. Let's merge this together. Okay, let's just have... No, not like that. Like this, precisely. So what we need to do is merge you into you. And then, yeah, every other train, this train alternates, except hang on. No, that was the wrong place for the switch, because it needs to... Hang on, need to rethink this. Okay, we can raise, so yeah, let's just raise a bridge and then lower you back down again in order to merge you to there. Just neaten this up, or that's going to annoy me. Lovely. So now this train should alternate. Oh, we're now floating coal. Are we floating too much coal? Okay, screw it. Just you, clone you, if you'd be so kind, get over here. Send in more of this nonsense. You are the... Wait, hang on. Where's the... Which one's the train that's supposed to... Uh-oh. How'd you get back to... Okay, I didn't provide a way for you to get back off that loop. Okay, we just need to go over to here for a second. In fact, you know what? We can just have you do that. That's perfect. Does anyone know which train it was that was supposed to? Does it actually matter, though? I'm not sure it actually matters, because these trains are now... Okay, I'm not sure. One of these trains is... It's you. It's going to be you now. Your job is to alternate between those two. That's now your job. Congratulations. Sorry if it wasn't before. Also, I'm going to clone you, so there's more alternating going on. Also, I'm going to, yes, upgrade, like, all of this nonsense. Oh, hang on, I just came up with a genius idea. We need a multiple tier unloading system. Okay, so just get that to here. Feed you into you. That's all fine. Now we can have another giant unloading platform. Okay, all trains at this point, you are allowed to alternate. Everybody should start alternating. That way, they should be dividing themselves. Except, no, they're not, John, because you put the... Oh, dear, you put the interchange way too far back. Okay, hang on. The idea was solid. It was just the execution that was terrible. Okay, alternating back here, that's gonna work better. So, okay, now the trains are utilizing the various alternative routes. This means trains are spending less time queuing outside the station. Okay, now that has immediately had a very positive effect. We are still swimming in money. Continue upgrading every mine, okay? It's just coal. We just need more bloody coal. And you know what? Alternative loading platforms as well. Alright, alternative loading platforms. That would be the thing. Just blend you into there. John, do not forget what we learnt last time. The actual interchange has got to be, yeah, a little bit far back. Okay, so now loading has double options as well. With that in play, honestly... Get more trains in play on every single direction. So you're now going around in that direction. Oh, there's so much coal down over here. That's fine. Do I even have space for... Oh, yeah. There are queues over here to access the loading, which is a problem, actually. Okay. Can we fix that? Okay, it looks dumb, but apparently it's acceptable as a loading platform. Hang on, Are you loaded up with coal? Why are you... Oh, bloody hell, we're now... Okay, there's now too much coal. I think I solved the problem 10 minutes ago, but didn't realise it. Okay, toss huge amounts of money into upgrading iron mines. Make them better and better and better. So, okay, we've got plenty of iron floating around here, which is good. We are now feeding iron in as fast as we can. Production rate has actually gone... down somehow. Well done me there. Okay, I'm adding an alternating double system to the iron unloading area. That should help things, yeah, speed up a bit. Okay, meanwhile, at the iron mines themselves, obviously, yes, I've added a double loading system because that was clearly causing an issue too. We've just got ourselves giant piles of trains coming in, loading as fast as they can. There should be enough capacity for everyone. We're over 30. How is the iron situation? The iron situation is... there's iron in play. There is constantly iron in play, by the looks of it, so... if iron is constantly in play, does that mean we just need to hold here for 60 seconds? Because, uh-oh. kind of seems to be holding at 3. If you're already receiving the catalyst and everything you need and storage, they're not producing. Oh, that's right. That's what's going on. It's being clogged up by too much cocking steel. Okay, get all of you in play, and we're going to be needing a double loading dock for steel too. Gotcha. Okay, there are now double steel collection facilities and more trains as well. Yep, steel is now at 29, 31. Seriously, we need to be collecting the steel faster. And come on, 28. Just take the steel away, please. Take the steel away. Is there going to be... Oh, there's probably going to end up being a massive logjam over here. Okay, just provide additional unloading facilities. Oh, yeah, there's now... Bloody hell. Okay, this is fine. We can fix this by just doubling everything. Okay, alternate everybody to separate loading docks in order to ship the steel, because it's production rate, not shipping rate, but that doesn't matter if the steel has got nowhere to go. So, alternating everything, just alternates, please. Thank you. Okay. So now, the steel should be getting shipped off. Hang on. Hang the cock on. How is steel not getting... John, you didn't build stations! The steel's got... Bloody genius me. Okay, it's all fine. So some steel is now rotating because it didn't have anywhere to be unloaded to. But now that should no longer be a problem. The steel should now get unloaded pretty bloody fast. Okay, the train should now start circulating like empty trains. Good, useful trains. 34.6. More trains coming in, both empty. Good, that's excellent news. 29, 31. It's not enough. I'm not sure we can actually ship the steel fast enough, even with multiple trains coming in constantly. We need more cocking trains to ship the steel. Oh, flip me, we did it. Oh, blimey, that was... Okay, you needed to optimize literally everything. So, as I say, it looks simple, but it gets complex fast. Also, it's gorgeous. So that there is Railgrade, and yes indeed, I think you get the point. It's pretty easy to get your head around, alright? It's just a big train set, which to my mind gets the balance just right for this sort of game, which is, it's so easy to get your head around, but once you get into the nitty gritty, the complicated stuff, oh, things start going off the rails very, very fast indeed. I love this. Expect a live stream because, oh yeah, this is just my cup of tea. Brilliant Sunday afternoon game. This is up there with Railway Empire, which I consider one of the best train games I've ever played. This is brilliant. So, oh yeah, well worth a look-see. And as I say, we may well see it again. Hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been the excellent Railgrade. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
I've created a small problem in my road system, which is, it's literally impossible for anyone to ever go back into town. And this building shall be where we produce our zebras. And this much taller building next door is naturally where we produce the giraffes. Does anyone remember how the road system went? I think it was something like this.